It's Monday, and I know the best way to get you awake today is maybe to bring in a celebrity chef. How about Nigella Lawson? Here she is. They're so excited to see you.
Well, we're going to do the other side too.
We'll do it the European way. It's been years since I've been able to have you here on the show. We've got a whole new home, and we're very excited.
Beautiful.
Isn't it lovely? We're excited about your new project, which is this book, Simply Nigella. As amazing as ever. The best thing about this book, I read the foreword, and it's all about your love of cooking. You know, you talk sort of a little bit about clean eating, the clean eating brigade, and how there's all this guilt surrounded by food, and how that's not what you're about. You're not about guilt and food, you're about pleasure in food.
You know, people often say to me, what's your guilty pleasure? And I always say, listen, the one thing you should feel guilty about is not taking pleasure.
Thank you.
That's incredibly important.
I like that.
I'm about balance.
That's right. It's all about balance. I like to do push-ups and consume kilos of chocolate. That's my balance, right?
Well, it's working for you.
Yeah, it's working. So speaking of which, we're actually going to make a salted chocolate tart, which looks a little something like this.
Towards the chocolate rather than the gym end of the equation.
I love that.
Yeah? So it's actually incredibly simple. It looks so beautiful and elegant, and it is. But it's very, very simple. So I'm just going to talk you through a bit.
Just walk us through it.
So you've got some Oreo cookies,
which I love.
I just go like, you know, I break them up like that, put them in the bowl of a food processor.
You keep the little middle, the middle in.
Yes, because that helps. It's glue, edible glue.
Yeah, no, it's the good part, actually.
And then some chocolate chips. Would you like to sample one of those?
I sure would. There's quality control.
I don't know whether you would also like some butter.
I'm happy you asked.
Lightweight. And then I'm using smoked salt. This is a salted chocolate tart, but regular sea salt flakes. Don't use fine salt, like table salt, or it'll be too strong.
Okay.
And then really, this is whizzed up. I'm going to sprint now. Exercise, balance.
That's right. We're going to power walk.
Here, it's all blitzed up.
Yeah.
And then line a tin with it.
So after it comes out of there, is it that malleable form that you can just push it down?
It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's
crumbly,
beautiful earth. It's dark rubble, and so you have to press it down. So what I do, because I like using my hands, of course, you do look like you've been scrabbling about in the garden.
That's okay.
So I press it down, and then what I would do, let me just show you. So once I've pressed it down, I'm going to lean. I'm going to lean this way so I don't break it. I smooth it for a while. Okay. And I find this such a comforting exercise. I do it for far too long. Yeah. Like that.
It's like kneading dough.
Smoothing. And then you know, like sometimes it's like a tart feels like it's so difficult. Well, this has got no pastry. Right. And then the base. That's the base. The filling is very easy. All right. So this is how I'm going to. I do this.
So this is the filling part, and this is the part that would actually make me feel nervous.
Well, it won't. See this?
No, this is easy.
So I've got some cornstarch and some milk. Okay. And I mix them together. And the rather wonderful thing is there's an old English term for doing this, and it's called slaking. Slaking. I'm using that. Even if I never do it ever. Although I've slightly done something to this whisk, already broken a part of the kitchen. And this is how easy... That will mix beautifully. Well, that thickens later on. Yeah. So this is how easy it is. Some heavy cream. Yeah. I didn't say this was, you know, light. It's easy.
Well, you know, we're talking a little bit about pleasure and decadence,
and also, actually, this is so rich that even I can eat only a small slice. A little bit of sugar, not an awful lot of sugar, actually.
A lot of people want that for dessert. They just want a little taste of that decadence, right?
And then you just keep it for later. It's very good. Some vanilla. All right. Instant, you add these really strong instant coffee, or instant espresso powder, just to give a bit of bitterness. Now, are you picky at all about the espresso powder that you use? Well, I think espresso powder, it's not, I mean, it's actually instant espresso is what it really is. Well, I don't know. I think that you have to go by your own palate and try it and taste it. Whatever you like. The thing is, you're not... And if you just got instant coffee at home, don't send yourself out to the shops just to get it. That'd be foolish. And here is my smoked salt. Now, to have a teeniest bit, because I think the thing about smoked salt, and as I say, you can use regular sea salt flakes, it has almost like a fireside. Let me smell that. Taste. Oh, God, no, you can have a flake. Okay, I'm going to taste it. Since you twisted my arm. It's got that little fireside taste. I don't know what it is. It's smoky. It's smoky. I like that. A lot of cocoa. This is also what makes it. But now, some really dark chocolate. This isn't a, even though actually a lot of children have liked it, this is not a kid's chocolate dessert. It's very dark.
Okay, so you have that almost bittersweet taste.
And then I like to have a teeny bit of extra virgin olive oil. Helps give a gloss, but at the same time, this is for a very, very tall person. It gives a gloss.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it gives that, again, it's reinforcing that notion of the slightly savory tang to it, which counters everything.
That's what makes things not too sweet.
Okay, I'm going to try and go to controls here and turn this up.
Yeah. We go select, and then we go there. Oh, look, I actually did something right. It's up there now.
What's this going to go?
Look at that.
Oh, that's very good.
It's hot now.
So when all this is melted together, there's nothing I can do to speed that up because I don't want the chocolate to seize.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, we have the final product.
Yeah, but I know.
Is this going to boil?
No, don't let it boil. Just let it get warm enough so that the chocolate melts, and you'll know when. So this is how hard it is. You stand here like this, chatting. Stirring,
just
chatting, stirring.
That's it.
That's it.
This is when people will be over on the other side of your island. You're having maybe a glass of wine, having a little chat.
Well, you can do, but the best thing about this is you do it ahead of time. So all you do is have it, keep it in the fridge because you want to get it. You don't want it merely cold. You want it cold enough to slice.
I love that. You know, in your book, you talk a little bit about cooking yourself strong. So what's that about?
I think that's about finding that wonderful grounded moment in the kitchen and enjoying yourself, thinking, what can I give myself to eat tonight that's going to make me feel great? And I don't feel it's problematic, but I have to discuss it. I have a strange compulsion to roast cauliflower a lot.
That's what you like?
Yes, and I do, and so I find there's certain foods I feel I'm getting, doing an awful lot of sweet potato, all those sort of foods that make you feel great, and they just taste delicious. Because cauliflower, I like taking basic ingredients, obviously I like taking basic ingredients like let's say like a cauliflower, and then just putting it in the oven with spices, and it tastes so different, and yet nothing is fancy or difficult. Okay, so this is more or less melted. Okay. I'm going to speed it on a bit, and then I've got this, which needs a bit more milk. It needs a bit more milk. All right. But we'll just put it in
It'll
like
do
this.
for now. Oh, and that's the consistency, maybe a little bit less?
No, you'd need it slightly runnier, but it's, it's in the recipe. Yeah. And then you just carry on. What I do, I smear chocolate all over the stove.
Yeah, for sure.
And
that's what we all do.
And what I also do is, because I don't want this to boil or burn. Yeah. It's about 7 minutes, but I do that because I take it slowly. So I do it on the heat for a while, and then every now and then I just take it off the heat and stir, and then I put it back on again. Makes me feel very, very busy. Right. And
she's working hard.
I'm working hard.
Look at that pot. It's off.
And then I'm taking it off, and then, although it's not set, so this is the wrong consistency. Don't judge the consistency. I want to show you this because it's a useful tip, but also something my mother always did, which is so it doesn't get a skin on the top. Yeah. You just get some baking parchment and you wet it under the tap in the sink, and then you squeeze it out, and then you just do that, and then you don't get the skin, and then 15 minutes in the fridge. Yeah. And then you pour it over your base. Oh, yeah. Put it back in the fridge, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
So really, it's just the back and forth with the saucepan, which is amazing. Oh my God, I'm so tired after doing that. Yes. You know, it's funny because you talk in your book about how it's not just the pleasure of eating; it's the pleasure of cooking. Yeah, but that's I see that even in a recipe like this. There's time. You can actually be mindful about cooking. Yes, rather than slopping something together to throw on the table.
Or doing something that means you read a recipe and you think, oh, that looks really wonderful, but that says, take out your thermometer. Yeah. And I go,
let me be all specific and have a half cup of
and then
this
spinning sugar, and then it's be very careful when you do that. The thing is, all of this is kind of. You have to pay attention. Yeah. You have to lift that off and put it here. And actually, it is also important because you don't want it to boil, but it's all very undemanding, which means you can enjoy it.
I love that.